Hello and welcome back to Easyweb Tutorials. We hope you've had a good week. Me, Klaus, and Niklas here. And today we're going to be talking about components and how we can use them in Easyweb. We have our project here up and running, so start your project if you don't have that, and then we'll jump right into it by going to Easyweb. So here in Easyweb, we go to the studio. And now we're going to be talking about components, because as you see here, we have to the right a components tab, which looks like a module. And that's not quite the truth, but it's you can see it as a collection of components that can be used on any view. So it can be very dynamic and powerful if you create a lot of components or if you have a lot of similar content that are going to be in different views. Then you can create a component inside of the components folder here, and then just use that component in every view that you want to have the content in. So if you remember, or if you were with us last week, we created in our code, so we can just pick up the code here, Niklas, and we'll just take a quick look. We created a few partials in our templates folder. So we have the partial for article and the partial for hero page. And these we're going to be using today as well. So if you don't have them, feel free to check out last week's video where we go through how we created them and set them up. So let's get back to Easyweb and start creating components. And as I mentioned, components can be used in any view. So why would you want to use a component? Well, for instance, if we go to our pages and the default page, so we have our page view here exactly, which we're already stood on. Here we have two sections, one hero section and one article section. And if we go into the articles standard view in our articles module, we can see that we have the exact same sections here. And that can be a little bit unnecessary. Why do we have to specify two exactly similar sections in two different views? And the answer to that is we don't. So here we're going to want to create components out of these sections instead. So we'll click the plus icon under the components. We'll go to alternative. So here is because we're going to set a label and a view key. So you pretty much never are going to create components with the standard view type or the other two view types. So we'll create an alternative view type here. We'll label it hero. And we can label it hero page, so it corresponds to the files and sections we already have. So the view key will be hero page. We will click off the create default contents because we don't want that, and we'll save this component. And now if we click on our component, we can see that we have a completely empty component. But here we can do our copy paste trick, so we can go into our article standard view and just copy this section. So we go copy, we paste it into our new component, and here we go. And now our component is actually pretty much done. So we just have to remember to save it, and it's done here. And now we'll do the same with the other section that are also used in two different places. So we have our article section here. So we click the plus under the components tab. We create a new component and we choose alternative view type. We name it the same as our key for the section, and we click out the create contents in view. And now we can copy our article section here in the standard view and go to our new article component and just paste it in and save our view. And that's pretty much it for the studio. So now here we have two components that we've created, and now that we've created them, we can use them in both of our views that had similar sections. So we can start with the page view. And now to use our components here, we need to make use of another component that is called the mirror component. So the mirror component is, you can find it just at the bottom in the right selection, or you can search for it to the left. So we'll create a mirror component here, and you can see the mirror component as a mirror that you will choose what it will mirror. So here we can see when we just created it, it says no selection, but we can click the little wheel by no selection and we can add one of our components. So here let's say we add the hero here, and then we also change the label to hero. And now we can save our view, and we can do the same with a new mirror and also add in the article component there. Where we have an article which will mirror the article component. Perfect. And now you can see we have two sections here, one with the mirror that is called hero and one with our original section that is called hero. So our original section right now is actually not necessary anymore, since we already have the same components in our custom component that we created. But there is a trick with having this still, because when we now go into the content management part of Easyweb, so if we go to our pages to start editing our content, we can go to our new page here, and we'll see that we have our old hero and we have our old article section here, and then we have our two new ones right below. So the reason we didn't delete the old ones is because now we can just copy over the content from our old sections to our new mirrored sections. So we'll do that. And we can also go up and check what the image was, and there we see that, and we can choose the same one or a different one if we want to. So now we can save and publish our view here. Yeah, we add a few links also. So in our article section here, we also have these 4 links, so we'll add them into our new section as well. And the last one there was contact. So now we can just scroll up and double check. We save our view, we scroll up, double check, we have our hero, and then we have our article section, and we can see that we have copy pasted the same contents into our new sections here below. So now when we've done that, we can go back into the studio. And now it's safe to remove these old sections that we were using, because if we had removed them earlier, then we would have lost all the content in them, and we would have to just remember what kind of content was in them, since if we delete these sections, the content that was in them will also get deleted. So now we can see we have a much more cleaner view here with the page view, and we'll do the same procedure with the article view. So we can go into our article standard view. We'll add 2 mirror components, one for the hero and one for the article. We'll save the view, and we'll go into the articles module and select our new article. And here we will just also copy paste over the contents into our new sections here. And here it's a little bit easier because we didn't have any links, so we'll just have to add the main image as well. Like that. We'll save and publish the view. And we'll go back into the studio to delete the old sections here. So now we can see we didn't have to specify anything new. We just copy pasted in the sections into our new components, and now we'll use the mirror component to just mirror the contents that are in these components instead. And this is the best part, because now when we go to our page, which is up and running, we can go to our new page, for instance, and we can see that we still have the content. Everything that we set up for styling wise is still the same. This will also be true for our new article, and this is because we already have the files with the view keys that corresponds to our new components inside of our templates folder in the project. And these will be automatically found and they will automatically render out our content. And now when we've done this, we could also create as many new views as we wanted to in the studio and just use the mirror component to mirror these new components that we've created, and everything will render out automatically since the framework will look for the correct files. Well, that'll be it for today. A little bit shorter video today, but feel free to test around the components, create some components, and just play around with the different use cases for it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week again.